It reminds me when we went to, my aunt and I went to England, and we drove down into York, and I drove into this perfect parking spot, I thought. And we took the tour around the town, and I said, you know, Clarice, I really think we need to go check on the car. I don't have a good feeling about this. So we got to the car, and it was a bank holiday, which I didn't know because I'm a tourist. And the streets have a million pedestrians right where the car's parked.
Oh.
And there's a nice big ticket on the windshield. And so I thought, wow, I'm parked in the wrong place. I need to move this car. But there were so many people on the streets at that point, because downtown York is really darling, little shops and little bakeries and things, and it was just so precious. So I was like driving like an inch at a time to get out. And people were walking by my aunt, you know, by my aunt's side of the car, flipping her off, you know, and stuff. And she's like, it's her fault. And so I'm really, really stressed out, and I'm just like, inching along the street, trying to find a turn so I can get out of the middle of all these people. And all of a sudden, this beautiful young man stepped up to the car, and he had on one of those pointed hats with the big horns, because York is a Viking town. And he had 6 or 8 college kids all chained together because they had captured York, and they were going to take the villagers, you know, off to be enslaved to them and all that stuff. And he looked at me, smiled and winked, and he moved in front of my car. And it was like being Moses. The pedestrians moved to the side of the street to let the parade through. And I said, isn't that cute? I said, the Vikings have taken over York. They've captured 8 peasants and 1 blue Ford. And I got to the next corner and turned. Now, when I was in it, that was one of the most upsetting times we had on the road when I was with my aunt, and she was over there panicking. But for me, when I think about that, I think it was one of the sweetest, the cutest memories I have of England. And so that's the way it is. It's like when we're going through this and we're hanging on to what we think should happen, the way we want to control it, you know, it doesn't work, and it makes us more and more frustrated, and we're more and more unhappy, and why am I so depressed? And it's like, child, I'm trying to tell you to let go. Let me do it. So, yeah, I did that. So, anyway, I did that. So can we ever control? Can we ever control anything, really, really? So how do we access peace when we need it? First of all, breathing. If you can pull yourself back into the now and just breathe and know that God is there with you. You can have gratitude for everything, everything. Okay, so you got a big bunion on your foot and it hurts. You still got feet. You know, you still got hair on your head. You've got food in your belly. I mean, if it comes down to that, just stay grateful for everything, because there's people out there that don't. I used to sit in the Native American, what do you call those? Roundhouse, you know, sweat lodge, and listen to the prayers. And I was so taken by how deep the gratitude prayers went. And it always reminds me to stay in gratitude. If you stay in gratitude for every little thing, I promise you that when the big stuff comes, it'll blow right over. Which reminds me, one of my most profound experience on the John of God bed last weekend was Monday night. I was so exhausted. We did 88 services in 4 days, and not even slightly prepared for what was coming. And I was so tired. You know how little children, when they get really tired, they're weepy, and you know they just want to collapse in a puddle on the floor. Well, that was me. And I thought to myself, you know, the bed's not going to work tonight. It's just not going to work. And I got on the bed, And I'm laying there feeling how tired I am and how, you know, it's just like it's not going to work. And then all of a sudden I felt this, and the feeling left. And I laid there and I felt like I was sinking again and again then. And I got up off that bed 40 minutes later and I felt 80% better. I was still tired, but all of that other stuff was gone. Now I did break down in tears, and Kathleen said it's just the emotional release. And she held me, and you know, and this week I have to say I've been very busy at the shop. 30% increase. I mean, for all of us. And I usually feel very crippled on Sunday morning because of my back, and you know, it's just 30 years of doing hair. This morning I'm like, wow, I'm tired, but not, I mean, I'm 10% tired normally, I'm 90% tired. So I am in awe and just so phenomenally grateful for this event, and I could not have done it without any of you, whether you were on the bed or not. And I know that I have been permanently shifted, and boy, I'll tell you, I'm so grateful. And I love all of you. Thank you so much.